Good morning, guys. So, I am just going to be continuing kind of where I left off on the last video with the office framing. I think there's probably going to be a few things that get done in this video. I'm not sure. I'm just continuing to film the progress. So, I just want to say thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And let's get to work. All right. So, the thing that I'm going to be working on today is going to be framing this wall here that's going to be separating the office from the storage area. And as you can see, I picked up a pocket door kit. A pocket door kit, if you're not familiar, it's where the door slides inside of the wall basically. So they sell these kits in various sizes. This one here happens to be a 24-inch by 80-inch door. So you can see where the top of the door will be actually above the roof line. And then a 2-foot wide door, essentially. So I will have to build this into the framing. The way that these are made, they are set up so that they are the same thickness of a 2x4. So you can get these kits also for a 2x6 wall, 2x4 wall, again in various sizes, like I said. They can be put back to back so that two doors come in together. You know, there's a lot of different possibilities. But this is going to be mine just for access to the storage area. I figured a 2-foot opening would be plenty. It's just going to be boxes and totes and stuff like that that will be in this storage area. So that should be enough room to get in and out of there. And then will also give me, you know, a decent wall here so I can, you know, do something with it. Yeah, so this right now is just clamped up. There's nothing attached. I just wanted to start getting my loose measurements for framing out the wall. This wall is going to be basically, I think this is about 40 inches or so over here. So it'll have the base plate, and then it'll have, I'm guessing 2 beams in the middle, and then on either end. Going up, there will be a header that I will build that will go over this entire thing. It's just going to be a 2x4 header. This is not going to be a load-bearing wall because the roof is going to rest on the forward wall and the back wall. Yeah, there's not really going to be anything on this wall. But the one caveat of this one is all of the beams are going to be different length because they're going to follow the roof line here. So that'll be a little bit, I don't know, more to think about, I guess, more measurements to take into consideration. But what I'm going to focus on first is I'm going to get the 2 beams against the wall here, which is basically going to be the very end beam, and then the beam that the header, I guess it would be a jack stud, is going to be what the header will sit on. So then the door will actually fit inside that. So this is going to actually be pushed out the distance of 2 2x4s basically. So yeah, I'm going to get to work, and we'll see how far I get. One of the things that I wanted to show was I spent some time on my Ohia post here, and I basically got all of the bark removed, and I got it sanded down, and it's looking awesome. And then I put tung oil on it. So right now it's sanded to 120 grit. It's very smooth. Yeah, I just think it turned out awesome the way it looks. Oh boy. Somebody just laid an egg. So down the road I may end up doing some carving in this. I'm not sure because I have to wait until I guess I kind of get my confidence level on carving, because this is something I don't want to mess up. But another thing that I wanted to show was my birthday passed recently, and my wife booked us on a Tiki carving class. So this is my Tiki that I carved, and this was a class in Kona. and this is a piece of monkey pod. So I did not carve the top, I'll say that. So the the instructor basically gave us the guidelines and showed us how to carve the tiki itself. So all of the face and everything down here I carved, and then he had us leave the top open like this, and then he did the carving on the top to us as a token. Basically, there were some different things that you could pick. I said I just wanted the tatau, which is the tattooing symbols basically. The instructor was from Tonga, and his class was pretty awesome. But yeah, so I want to do more carvings like this down the road. More tikis. So anyway, it was a really cool class. I'll throw a video in of me doing the carving on this video, because I did get some video of it real quick. I think it's only like 15 seconds long or something like that.
Move it up. Move it up. Move it up. Up.
There you go.
Look at that. Yeah. So you can come back. Yeah. Up. 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 Look at that. It's natural, brother. Huh? Move it up. Move it up. Move it up more. Up. So, and it's more safer, like if you know how to keep moving up. Yeah. I can do it.
So that was pretty cool, huh? That was a fun class, and my wife also carved one, and then one of our friends and neighbors also went with us, and she carved one as well. So that was a very cool class. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description below if anyone's interested in checking out that class. So back to work. All right, so I removed the rail section because all this is kind of in pieces, when you get the kit. So basically I'm going to use the length of this is going to be the size of my header plus the added distance of a 2x4 on either side, which is what the header will sit on top of, the jack studs. So I'm going to get the measurement for this. I'm going to get the header made. Then I'm going to start getting the wall beams cut and put up. This one is going to be assembled kind of differently because it's in, so many different sections. With the first section there, then there's the doorway, and then there's the top section above that. So yeah, I'm just going to try and get it done. All right, so I have the two 2x4s here. And basically this is going to be the one piece going all the way up, and then the piece that the header is going to be resting on. And I need to do a little bit of a modification on this pocket door kit. So if you look closely on this edge, there's a lip right here. So it comes with a built-in trim piece so that when you put your drywall or whatever your finish is on here, it'll meet right up with that. So the issue is, normally if this was being put into a wall, it would be fine to have the trim on both sides, but since this is going against this roof rafter, I'm going to have to actually mark this here and cut this about a 1/2 inch out all the way up on this piece, and then also on the trim piece here. So I'll have to mark it here and do a 1/2 inch cut out so that this will all slide in properly and nice and tight. Because if you look here, there's a gap here. So that's because the piece over there. So right in there, you see where it's against the rafter. So that piece has to be trimmed. So I'm going to get this marked and get that cut. I have the header built, and then I have the piece for either side cut, and then I'll start getting the measurements for everything else. Okay, I have these pieces trimmed now. You can see here and then here, so that it will go tight against the rafter here. Also the inside piece is trimmed here because there will be, eventually plywood on the other side of that where this wall goes up on the back side. And then what I did was I measured basically the distance from this trim piece to this edge, which was 24 1/8. I went same thing on the bottom, and then I put a mark right there, if you can see. So I know that that's where the edge of my door is on the bottom, and then everything is plumb. So there's a bracket here on the bottom that gets attached to the floor. And then once that bracket's attached, you pull these wood pieces off, and then the door, you know, is going to slide inside that channel. And then on the top, once your framing is up, it gets attached to the framing. The top piece, if you look inside there, you can see that there's holes where you screw up into the header inside the metal rail that the door slides on. So I have the jack studs basically on both sides are cut, so the header's going to sit on top of that. Now I can get my measurements for everything else and then start actually building up this framed section. And then the pieces are going to get cut, you know, different lengths depending on where they come across on this board. This will end up getting finished out with a angled top piece. So this piece I'm going to have to cut in place because it's already nailed in. But that won't be that difficult, you know, just use the radial saw. And then that probably won't get totally done on the top until I'm ready to actually start doing the roof and I pull the tarp off. But in the meantime, I can get everything else in place. Barely made that. Okay, this wall is done. Of course, there's no board on the top yet. I'm going to wait to do that until I start putting the roof rafters on. So everything else is done. Everything else is secure. This trim piece here will not go in until after I install the door, and then that'll be slid into place and nailed in. Another thing I guess I didn't show since the last video, I put the house wrap on here and installed this window. Yeah, I mean, it's just in there. It's still under the tarp, so not really exposed to the outside. And then this is most likely going to wait until I get to the point where I'm ready to pull the tarp off, because for me to house wrap and install this window, I kind of want to have it, you know, be done with the tarp, which means I will have to have this wall finished too. So, and of course it's raining right now and it's sunny. All right. Okay, so it's been a few days. I went and I picked up a bunch of 2x6s. Well, not a bunch. I got 8 of them, or essentially 10. So what I'm going to be working on now is framing up this last wall. And this is kind of a big deal because this is the last bit of framing that I'm going to be doing in the shop. You know, minus the roof, but I guess the roof isn't really framing. So, yep, getting ready to put up this wall. I just added in a couple pieces of 2x4 right here just to bring that out even, because I was going to overlap it, but it was just too complicated to try and do that with the 2x6s, so it'll just meet up that way. So I will be putting a window in here the same size as this window, so I'll have to frame that out. I think I'm just going to do this and not film it. You guys have seen enough videos of me doing time-lapse framing. So let me get this done. I'll be right back. All right, so this is mostly framed up now. I still have to do the header, of course. And then when I start doing the roof, the piece on the top will get put on. But that's just about done. All right, so it has been a few more days since the last time I filmed. And as you can see, I got this header installed and I got the top cripples there. So this wall is essentially done. It will get tied in on the top up there once I start doing the roof. I think I mentioned that before. So yeah, I'm pretty much done with framing in the shop. This section of roof will be the last part. I also just put in the order for all of the metal that's going to go on this short section of the roof. So that should hopefully be here next week. I'll probably wait until I get that in before I film anything else and just add it into this video. But yeah, office is framed out. Both windows are in and be looking good once I get windows in there. All right, so while I'm waiting for my metal to come in for this portion of the roof, which should be in the next week, I think, I started working on the roof for the office. And as you can see, I'm doing a similar cutout to what I did, out here on these rafter tails, just a smaller version. And I also got a few other things done. So house wrap, this window is installed. I got house wrap on this side. I started doing this wall here. The plywood on the inside, a couple pieces of insulation, tar paper. So this wall I'm going to end up doing with pallet wood, which will be just like the same wall in the shop, the lower level. Yeah. Oh, hey, look. You can see my reflection in the window. Let me go wide view. So this section is done now. As you can see, I have my first rafter up there. I have the purlin cutouts in place. Same on this side. And if you look through the window, if it'll show up here, can't really see it, but you can see where the rafter tail cutout is. So I'm going to just have a straight overhang on the back, and this is just going to be one flat roof. It's about 14 feet from the top to the bottom. I'm going to have a 2-foot overhang on this side. I have about a 3-foot overhang on that side. So yeah, this is all pretty much done. Of course, the tarp's all pulled back. Yeah, just waiting for this metal roofing to come in so I can finish that part. All right. So as you saw in the time lapse, I put in the purlins in this area and then the metal roofing. I have a little kind of a wrap around the corner. It basically just goes 1 foot higher than what this line is here. As you can see, I put a smaller tarp over just the office area. Yeah, so it's like getting pretty close. So the next step of this, which won't be on this video, but I'll show it eventually. I need to add flashing on here, and then it will get the siding, same siding as what's on the rest of the shop. And then I also have all the wood to build the roof for the office. So right now I basically just have the rafter on either side, and then that's it. But I do have all of the roof material for that now, so I'll be working on that this weekend. But yeah, this part is done. I had to wash off all the blood before I showed it. Just kidding, but not kidding. I got a small little cut on my finger, and it like a paper cut, and I had drips all over. Anyway, it's all cleaned up now. All right, so next day, got quite a bit of rain last night, but as you can see, all this is done. Of course, I need to, trim these edges. You can see the purlins just barely sticking out. So those will have to be trimmed, and then there will be a fascia board that will go up this side. And then there will be kind of a cap up there for the little wraparound to attach to. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Hi, Skull. What's up, buddy? What's up? So I did get some leaking inside. Which I kind of expected this. So you see the one spot on the floor here. Because I don't have that flashing up there yet. So I did get a little bit of dripping in there. And it's basically running down the side wall of the office. So where that little kind of corner is, it's coming down the beam and then dripping there. So that'll get addressed and wrapped up this weekend once I start working on the actual roof, which is what all this wood is for. So that's just about there. Hi, Hati. Oh, you're a good boy, huh? Yeah, good boy. So that's going to be it for this episode. Finishing up the framing in the office and finishing up the main portion of the roof. So I will still, of course, have down the, the metal for the office roof. I think that roof I will be putting plywood on, and then I'm going to put like a, roofing membrane on there. So in the meantime, it'll at least be sealed up and fully dried in. And then I can just order the roofing when I have the money to order the roofing. But it's getting pretty close. And then, of course, I will slowly still be buying and installing siding around the whole thing and continuing with insulation to get the shop fully dried in and fully done on the exterior. That's my main focus right now. So I do plan to get, hopefully I'll be able to get the circuit breaker panel this weekend, and maybe some breakers. So I'll be getting to that electrical video, which will be the last electrical video. And then of course I still have quite a bit of wiring to run. I have to run to the CNC room. I have to run to the office. But I mean, all that's same as what you guys saw me do before. So it'll all get wrapped up. But thanks for watching as always. And I will see you guys on the next video. Please subscribe. Aloha.